Okay, everyone, welcome back to episode 8 of the cold extraction one shot. I have some exciting news. I've been working on my old Havoc system. Now it's called Havoc5. In these final episodes of the cold extraction, I'll be using the system. So I've adapted, transitioned our characters from my custom Savage Worlds to the new Havoc5 system. It is a dice pool system, and I will explain how things work. It's a work in progress, so rules may change, terminology may change, etc. This will be basically a play test. After I complete the cold extraction, the next one shot may be a full play test for the Havoc 5 system. Now, where our party left off, we are currently underground in the resource mining depot. We encountered a gas smoke monster, if you will. And now we are heading our way. There was a slight time jump. I'm going to say that we are ever so closer to the Arclight facility. So we're right here underground. This is tile 6M. We're going northeast as our team follows their way through the tunnels, avoiding what they can. Now, we have to ask the Oracle, was there an encounter with a creature or a monster of sorts based on previous incidences? I'm going to say 75% chance. Oh, that's a strong yes. So, while they were traveling through the tunnels of the resource mining depot that happens to have a connection point to the Arclight facility, that is this plus sign right here, they encounter two low-ranking enemies. Now, combat in my system is a tad different, but basically, I assign two enemies that have tiers of difficulty. Two. So these are the two enemies right here. We'll use the little grid here as a battle map. And here's Keera. Here's Jax. These little pawn risers here. And we encounter these two no-name enemies. Who goes first? So the way turn order is decided is the roll team effort on the character who has the best agility. That is definitely going to be Keera. Now, this is basically an action, or I should say a core check, because these are cores. I have 5 cores. We have Hardy, Agility, Valor, Optics, and Craft. These have been adapted from Savage Rules to the best of my ability. Keera has 3. It's a dice pool system. Thus, she would roll 3d6 because she has 3 agility points. They're filled in here. So this character sheet is actually very similar to the custom character sheet I made for my Savage Worlds custom house rules, which I'm practically going to call Savage Light. Now, she needs to have, for turn order, the default difficulty is a ranking of 2. She needs to have 2 successes, which is basically 5 or 6 per d6. That is considered a success. A 5 is a standard success. 6 is 2 successes. That applies in general adventuring and combat. So we will use her agility to roll for turn order. Essentially initiative. They failed. So the enemies go first. Now, this enemy right here, he is going to attack Jax. Now, with a 2, that means he has 2d6 for attacking. It could be Hardy for melee. It could be Agility for ranged attacks. But because we are in these confined tunnels, I'm going to stick to hardy. These are, again, tier 2 enemies, which means they have 2d6. They have to roll, and the amount of successes they need to land a hit, which I have on here mislabeled as strikes, is actually called hits. That was a terminology I was trying to decide. Instead of using wounds or hit points, I'm going to call them hits. So that actually is not strikes. But for now, we can say strikes. Every success over the armor of our character Jax is a hit / strike. Equal to or less than armor, similar to Karen, soaks the damage. So we're going to roll with 2d6. 4. That is a miss. None of these are 5 or higher to land a hit. Next is this other enemy going after Keera. Now, she, unfortunately, has armor of only 1. So some significant damage can be done here. Rolling 2d6. Oh, look at that. Oh, jeez. It's a very deadly game, by the way. Now, this is considered 2 hits. This is considered 1 hit. That's 3 total. -1, she takes 2 strikes or hits. So Keera needs to back off soon. All right, now it's on our team. Jax will act first. He'll attack this character, this enemy here. He has Hardy of 3, which is impressive. But not only that, basic weapons like the brass knuckles he has is considered part of that 3 dice roll, the 3d6 roll. If it's unarmed combat, you get a penalty of negative -1d6. So in that case, he would roll 2d6. Heavier weapons, better weapons, grant an additional dice value, a d6. His shotgun grants him an additional d6. So that's why I have a +1 here. And he already has an agility of 2. So that is considered 3 dice. We're going to shoot for successes over 2 amount needed. So we need 3 successes total. And look at that. We actually have 3 successes because that d6 is 2. Sorry, the 6 is 2, 5 is 1. So that's 1 strike, 1 hit on the enemy because they have armor of 2, which soaks those 2. So we put that hit chip right there. Next, Keera is going to use her medkit to heal herself. So there's really no, I don't have a real rule, more of a narrative. My game is rules light. I don't have a rule for like healing using items. I have a rule for healing, which is after combat, you can heal 1 hit, and then shortly later on, in a safe area, you can heal all your hits. If you get 5 hits, which main characters have up to 5 hits on their hit counter, that's what I actually called, I forgot to mention, hit counter, they die. Or they fall unconscious an hour later. If nobody helps you, you're dead. So Keera is going to use the med kit. And let's make a custom rule here on the spot. The med kit will require I think, a craft roll, an item. Since it's an additional, I'm going to say that she can heal based on a dice being the item, and then a craft, which she has 3. So she's smart. So we'll give her, craft is basically knowledge. We'll give her 4 dice. I'd say the difficulty on this is normal under the circumstances. So she needs 2 or more to be successful. 2 successes. She has 2. So she heals both hits. But let's do a status check on the med kit. 50-50. Is there anything left in the med kit for later? That's a yes, there is. Okay, let's remove that. D6 there. Which means she still has it, but next time it will be the last time. All right, so she's healed, and now she's going to attack this other enemy. Her agility, oh yeah, we'll do range combat, so we'll keep her back. Her agility is 3, Her crossbow that she got earlier is another extra die. So we roll 46 at the. We need 3 successes because her armor is 2. The enemy's armor is 2. Ooh, that's 4 because the d6s count as 2. So that's 4 minus 2. That's 2 hits. Thus, this enemy is defeated. Now, it is the enemy's turn. I don't have any penalties for actions regard if they have a hit on them. Like in Savage Worlds, you take a penalty. I just straight up, they just attack. This enemy is going to attack Keera because of what just happened. Now, Keera has the armor of 1. This enemy has 2d6 for attacking, so we roll the dice. That's luckily a failure. Jax is going to step in and attack this enemy. Now, as you can see, I'm being very generic. I'm not stating what kind of enemy this is, if it's another zombie or if it's a wildlife, like a wild animal or creature or ghost. It's just an enemy, keeping it simple for my playtest. Jax is going to attack with his brass knuckles this time. I want to demonstrate a standard hardy roll. No modifier, just a standard hardy roll, 3. We're going for 3 successes. And look at that. That is 3 successes. I called it. So 2 for 6, 1 for 5. Thus, this 2-tier enemy is defeated. So that sums up that combat. That's basically that is the basics of combat in my game. So we'll put them back off to the side here as I continue to explore this. Oh, right. Did those 2 enemies drop anything of interest? 25% chance. Oh, wow, they did. Okay, let's see. What did they drop? I'm going to say they dropped another med kit for, let's say, for Jax. He picks this one up. And did they drop any weapons, perhaps? Well, actually, we just rolled. I'm going to say, a possible 1 weapon they dropped based on that roll, which will be a survival knife. Let's give this to Jax. There we go. Okay. So he picks up a knife that they dropped. He likes sharp things. Okay. We are now reaching an entrance underground at the Arclight station. And the tunnel reaches a door that's closed. It is a door that goes up and down. It's closed as expected. There is a red light above it, and there is as predicted, consistent with the other areas we've explored, a keypad. But there's actually a plug. Now, Keera doesn't have her tablet. So, earlier in the last, I think, episode or 2, Jax tried strength but failed, almost got his fingers sliced off with the door. He's going to try and shoot the um, the pad, which again is Keera says, hold on, because she has a hacker tool. It's not her tablet, it's a handheld device, plug into the port, and it tries to predict or hack essentially the uh, terminal. Now, I remember a commenter mentioned that conventional numpad terminals can't just be plugged and hacked. This one is digital, electric, has a port in for maintenance, perhaps. Not sure. That's just what I'm thinking of at the moment. So this will require a craft roll. Because she's using an item, I'm thinking of including an extra d6. The difficulty here will be normal because I'm considering the narrative element of her backstory. She's an X-Corp techie, her profession tech specialist. So think of it as advantage using an extra d6, which actually is a rule. Advantage grants an additional d6. Disadvantage takes away a d6. So I'm considering her experience and the item of the hacker tool. Let's roll. We need 2 successes. Okay, we have 1. which is a fail, even with the total. So that's a fail. She tries to plug in her hacker tool, but the port is not compatible or it's not working. It's perhaps damaged. The display itself, the digital console is damaged itself. So she is aggravated. Jax offers to use his brute strength to perhaps break the keypad open, so maybe she can do something with the wires. She's like, he says, perhaps, what if I rip this console open? You can fiddle with the wires. And she says, it's not like I'm trying to, jumpstart a car. So he says, well, what do we have to lose? So he is going to use his strength. This should be relatively simple. So I'm giving him an advantage because he's a big guy. So Hardy typically a 3, but I'll give him a 4. He's going to try to rip the console off, which will be easy. Okay, luckily, not many good rolls today. Luckily, he is successful with that 1-5. So takes a bit of effort, kind of embarrassing himself in front of Keera, but he eventually rips it off and exposes the wires. Keera is going to now have to roll to see if she can fiddle with the wires like he's proposing, and she is confident she can do it, but I'm not going to give her advantage here. She typically likes to work with, well, she's a techie, so she's probably familiar with building computers and wires and soldering and all that kind of stuff. So I'll stick with the usual craft roll. No item here. This is just her bare hands. So this could be either agility roll or craft. They're both 3, so I'm going to keep it with 3 dice. I'm going to say hard because, actually, let's say normal too. Oh, geez, she can't. The wires are not sparking. Nothing's working. She says this whole thing is just damaged. I can't do anything with it. So Jack says, so we're stuck. And then Keera mentions, well, why don't you try what we did before and break the door down? So Jax looks at the door. He's trying to determine if he can see any weak points to the door. His optics, unfortunately, is only it's a 1d6. So this is required just to kind of analyze the door and figure out a way to break in. I'll roll a 1d6 normal difficulty. So he needs a 6 because that gets two successes. And that's a fail. The door is solid. There's no weakness in the door. It's a metal door that slides up and down, opens up and down. He can't figure it out. So he's like, you know what? Screw it. He's gonna take a couple of yards walking backwards. He puts his gun behind him, and he's gonna take a running head start and jump into the door or kick it down. Keira steps aside and he's going to try it. So this will require Hardy, but because of the head start, we'll let him use 4 dice. But again, the door is pretty strong, so I'm going to say hard, which is we need 3 successes. Oh, nice. So actually, there is a rule in my game, if I can pull it up here. Basically, if I'm not mistaken, I might have taken it out, but yeah, I took it out. So basically, if you roll 3 6s on a hard difficulty, you get a hack. And it's like Benny's from Savage Worlds, but it's only limited to rolls. A hack you can spend in the future to turn a failed roll like this 4 into a 5. I might bring that back. I'm still thinking about it. So, but in this case, we didn't get that. So, success, because I said 3, that's basically these two are 4, 5. So 2, 4, 5. He's able to, in my game, dice don't ace, FYI. It's just flat rolls. He runs into the door and kicks it down, and it falls forward off the hinges or off the top rail, and it reveals a room. And there's dust everywhere, there's spider webs, and it's just this old, decrepit room has not been touched for decades. They are the first people here, and they can see there is just tables and chairs toppled over. It looks like a break room almost, like an entry room or a security checkpoint. This is a security checkpoint that was used quite often with people, employees of the building of the Arclight facility, government employees that were coming in and out of this entrance. And they can see there's a scanner for weapons that they walk through. They're looking around carefully. They see giant spider webs. And now I'm thinking, are there any mutated spider webs if we get specific on the enemy type in the area because of the giant spider webs kind of glossing over the sides onto the ceiling? 75% chance. Okay, there is one large spider that drops down in front of them as they're walking through the security checkpoint. the weapon scanner. And this is going to be another tier 2 character. Actually, let's say it's a tier 3. Where's tier? There it is, tier 3, which still two hits to kill it, but it has 3 dice for attacking. Now, we're going to do initiative, and of course we base initiative on, turn order, I like to call it. 3d6 roll, we need 2 successes for Keera, or she's using hers. 1 success. Unfortunately, the spider once again goes first. He's going to attack Jax. Jax was in the front, so that makes the most sense. And we are rolling 3d6 against his armor, so the spider does need 3 hits to be successful. So here we go. 5 is 1 hit, so that's soaked by our armor of 2. All right. Next is Jax. He's going to use his shotgun, which is his agility roll, plus the weapon itself. And this is going to be a armor of 3, though, of that d6. So we need 3 successes. Oh, we got 2, so it soaks it. Okay, no damage done. Keera's up. She's at a distance using her crossbow, or let's just, crossbow. That's her best weapon at the moment. All right, she has agility of 3 plus the extra crossbow bonus die. That's 4. We need 3 successes, and look at that. So we have 2, 3, 4. That's 1 hit on the spider. Armor 3, 3 soaks the remaining 3 hits. Okay, spider is going to attack her because she attacked recently. And, well, actually, 50% chance the spider attacks her. Yep, oh yeah, she does. Oh yeah, the spider does. Okay, good to know. So the spider attacks Keera. She is, again, fresh. She's healed up, so she has no existing hits. And let me know down in the comments if you guys like the term strikes instead of hits, because I call it the hit counter. I don't know. I'm still iffy on it. But for now, it's just strikes. So the spider rolls 3 dice against her armor. And, ooh, she got lucky. There's no damage taken, no hits taken. Okay, spider backs up. And Jax is up with his shotgun, which will be his agility plus the extra dice for the shotgun itself. Unfortunately, that's a miss. Keera shoots once more with her crossbow, which will be agility plus the extra die for 4 dice. And, oh, God, terrible rolls today. That's a fail. All right, so the spider goes after Jax this time. His armor is of 2, so the spider needs 3 or more. 3, no, that's a fail. Okay, it's just a missing game for everybody. The spider is going to back up and suddenly spawn 2 little tiny spideys right here in front. They spawn, they hop down from the ceiling, and they're going to attack. So now they are going to attack, or actually now it's our team's turn. Jax is going to shoot this closest spider. He just needs 1 hit essentially, or 2, because the armor is 1. His agility plus the extra dice. So for shotgun, that is 2. So that technically counts as a hit. Right there. And then Keera is going to attack this spider, the small spidey right there, with her crossbow. And that's agility of 3 plus the extra d4 with the crossbow. And 2, that's a hit. Okay, so they all of them are hurt with 1 strike or hit. Now it's their turn. So the small spider attacks Jax up close, but he only has 1 die, so he actually can't do much. Armor of 2. The spiders have no effect. I just realized that plot hole in my rules. These spiders have no effect. So that's unfortunate. This spider attacks Keera. Maybe needs to land a 6. That's a fail. The big spider shoots a web, so this will be ranged at Jax with 3. Armor of 2 against armor of 2, and that's a fail. Okay. Jax is going to strike this closer small spider right there with his usual choice of weapon, the shotgun. That's 3 dice total. And, ooh, nice. That's 4. So thus killing this spider closest to him. Keera is using her pistol, which is no additional die, but it's with agility of 3. Okay. 2, that's a hit. Defeating this spider also. All right. Now the main spider attacks Keera with his or its 3 dice against the armor of 1, so we need 2 or more. That's a fail. Explains a lot. The spider is hurt. Jax has the shotgun, shoots from the side with agility of 3 total. The shotgun. Oh, that's 3. Yep, that's 3. So, oh, but it shoot, has an armor of 3, defense of 3. So that's soaked barely. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. Keera tries with her crossbow. She takes a step back to get some distance. Shoots with the crossbow. That's 4 dice for her. She needs 4 successes. Whoops. Oh, that was 6. 2 is a fail. So this spider is now going to attack Jax once more. And that will be 3 dice against him. Armor of 2. That's 2. That's soaked by 2. So thus no damage taken. Jax is up and going to take a step back also, shooting with his shotgun. This will be 2 dice of agility and a 3rd dice for the weapon. That's 3, which is unfortunately still a soak. So I'm noticing combat is stretched here, even for this minor character. So I'm thinking, because the spider is hurt, I'm going to lower the tier down to 2. With this, it gets a hurt. Well, you know what? No, I'm going to just lower its armor down to 2. But it's not killed from that last attack. Now it's Keira's turn. She attacks with her crossbow. And agility, that's 4 dice. That's going to be 1 hit, so it's soaked. Okay. Next is the spider going after Keira with 2 only now because it's hurt. Going after armor of 1. Ooh, that's 2. So, yeah, she takes a strike. Okay. That's all right. That's only 1. So, she takes a strike. Jax is up next, hopefully to finish off this bastard with 3d6 with agility plus the shotgun, going for 2 or more. Oh, 6 is 2, so that's another soak, unfortunately. Keira's going to try to step back here even more, goes up against the wall. She's going to use her agility and crossbow once again. That's her weapon of choice. And, oh my gosh, no luck. Okay, the monster, or the spider, goes after Jax now. And this will be 2 dice against the armor of 2. Needs a 6 per. Nope, 2 is soaked. Next is Jax. He's going to do hopefully I can, the finisher. 2 dice with the weapon. Oh my gosh, nope. Let's see if Keira hits with her 4d6. Oh, that's 4, finally. Okay, this creature takes the final hit, and after that long, not too long, but stretched out combat, the spider is defeated and collapses onto the ground, and actually turns into dust, decays. All right, so we suffered 1 strike for her, but she survived. And now they are walking past into another door that is just a standard door. It is locked, but it has a handle. However, anything behind the door, 50% chance. No, it's not. Okay, so Jax puts his ear against the door to hear just to listen to see if he hears anything. There's nothing. He can't hear anything. So the door's locked, and that's where I'm going to end this episode. I definitely have some notes for my game. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.